Everyone has that one movie that completely terrifies them. For me, it's The Grudge. What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Katrina. Welcome back to the 31 days of Halloween. I am so excited to be releasing a video every single day this month. If you are interested in this kind of content, please consider subscribing below for Halloween themed content for this month of October. But for the rest of the year, hey, we do recipes, we do workouts, we do a whole variety of things on this channel. Anyways, so going back to what movie terrifies me the most, I'm telling you, it's The Grudge. And I'm not saying, that recent Grudge that just got released in like 2019. I'm talking about the original 2004, I believe, or 2005 Grudge. That was terrifying. So I was in 6th grade when that movie was in theaters, and I remember just wanting to see it. Everyone was talking about it. Everyone was just like, that is the movie that is, scary, it's hip, like if you're going, you're part of the cool crowd. So my friend at the time, well, she's still my friend, my best friend Cassandra and we begged my mom. We were like, hey, can we please see The Grudge? We want to see The Grudge. And she was just like, I don't know if you guys are ready for it. We were 11 and we were just, please mom, everyone's going to see The Grudge. And we finally convinced her. So she took us to the movie theater and we were all excited. This was our first, real scary movie. And within the first 10 minutes, I probably lost half of my popcorn on the floor because of how bad I jumped. I was terrified. And what scares me the most about that movie is there is no safe place. Usually when you're in your room and you're scared, you put the covers over your head. Yeah, that doesn't happen in The Grudge. The Grudge was in the bed sheets, and that was terrifying. Like, she was coming out, and I was like, oh my gosh. And the other thing that got me was that shower scene at the end. I have long hair now, but back in the day, my hair was twice as long. It like reached past my butt. I had super long hair. So, when I'm in the shower, I'm really lathering it in soap and conditioner, and I'm taking a while to get all of that product out of my hair. And that scene where like the Grudge is like coming out of her hair, no, absolutely not. Absolutely terrifying. I couldn't deal. So for the longest time, I was scared of, my bedsheet covers. I was scared of the shower. And the other part that got me was the closet scene. Right in the beginning, when they go into the closet, that scared me. I was terrified to be in a dark closet. And the scary thing, growing up, my closet was right by my bed. And I would stare into it. It was one of those like mini walk-in closets, and I couldn't deal. And thinking about it now, the other day, I was playing with my kids and my husband, and I opened the door to our closet and I slammed it shut because I was trying to like run for my kids and stuff. And there's this like little attic roof thing, and it went up and down, and I realized, oh my gosh, there's like, enough space to put something up there. And part of me was just like, oh, I want to see him, but then slowly in the back of my mind, you don't want to see. You do not want to open the closet. 9 times out of 10, all haunted movie scenes involve a closet and like that little roof space. No. Let's just think of Paranormal Activity. You don't want to deal or mess with little closet enclosure spaces. So, like I said, those were the terrifying parts. They still haunt me to this day. But there are more reasons why I am terrified of The Grudge. Another recent story. So my husband and I, we know what our scary movies are, of course. And for me, obviously, The Grudge. And I was taking a shower. And for all the moms out there, shower time is me time. You love your family. You love your kids. But in the shower, that is your sanctuary. You want to just relax and soap up your body and soap up your hair and just, take some time for yourself. So that's what I was doing. I was enjoying a shower, and all of a sudden, I start hearing the classic Grudge sound. You know what I'm talking about. Let's play it here. Yes, that. Absolutely not. So I was hearing that, right? And at first, like, my mind went to, my husband is messing with me. But then I started thinking, wait, the sound is not originating from the door where he possibly could be. The sound was originating from the corner of the bathroom, where that corner borders our master closet and wall space. Like, there is no possible way he could have the phone like up against the wall. The walls are not that thin because it's the bathroom, so there's probably piping and the wall and stuff. So I was like, there's no way. But that's where I heard the sound. Immediately. It's literally in the span of like 5 seconds. I thought, husband, no, just kidding. It's the wall, it's the closet, it's like, that whole, it's not originating from any possible place. I go down into fetal position, grabbing onto my hair like this, and screamed. Bloody murder, screaming. And of course he comes in, he's like, it's a joke, it's a joke. I was shaking because of how bad that movie scares me. I just thought, like, oh my gosh, it's happening. My longtime fear is coming. Now, the other reason why I legitimately am afraid of The Grudge. So back in my college days, I was a tutor for the America Reads, America Counts program through Arizona State University, and we would tutor refugee students. I can't remember off the top, it's been quite a few years. I can't remember exactly where they were from, but they were Asian descent, and I don't want to pick and guess because I don't want to assign the wrong, like, specific city where they were from. But anyway, they were refugees, and when I was tutoring that sophomore year, we had a very unfortunate incident where one of our students was involved in a car accident. She was riding her bike home with her father, and a car hit her and her father, and unfortunately our student did pass away. And during that time, it was very difficult. The tutors, all of us took it hard, and the students especially, because they were all refugees together. They were friends. They lived together in the same apartment complex. They were very close to each other. So during that whole healing process, what we did is we did a lot of grief counseling with like the students and just asking them, how are you feeling? Doing like activities that were not focused so much on academics, but more so, just getting them through the emotions they were going through. Well, the group of students I had one day, I was asking them just like the standard questions, like, how are you doing? How are you holding up? And they were just like, we don't want to go home. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, well, we're scared of the apartment complex and we don't want to go play outside in the apartment complex. I'm like, well, why don't you want to play outside? What like kid doesn't want to play outside? They were sixth graders. Like, of course, like they would want to play outside, but they didn't. They refused. Like, they were just like, we don't want to. We'd rather stay here. So, of course, being the type of person I am, I started probing them. Like, what, why, like, who, is someone there? And they were like, so-and-so's there, the student who had passed away. And at first I was like, well, what do you mean? And they're like, she died a very tragic death, so her soul can't leave. And I'm like, well, explain that to me. At first I was just like, what are they talking about? And they go on to explain, because she died a very tragic death, her soul couldn't pass on to, like heaven or so. Like, their soul was attached to earth and to our surroundings, and they would go to the place of their home because they knew nothing else. And they said, she's scaring us, she's staying by like our swing set. And that terrified me, because as soon as they finished explaining that to me, it took me right back to the origin of the grudge story. When they die a tragic death, a grudge is born. And that's what scares me. It just, knowing that there's a small inkling chance that is true. And some of these stories are like crazy fictional, but knowing that The Grudge is based on true events, and then hearing that from my actual students, I'm like, kind of terrified. So that is why to this day The Grudge scares me. And actually it took a few months for me to even see the most recent one that was released. I believe it was 2019 that the most recent one was, you know, going out, and my husband's like, let's watch it, let's watch it. And I'm like, no, 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 it's The Grudge. But I ended up watching it one time with him, and I was kind of disappointed. I mean, I'm glad I wasn't terrified, but it did not live up to, you know, the original Grudge. So if you all are interested in watching it, please consider seeing it on your subscription services. Like, you know, I think it was on Amazon Prime that we saw it, but it has nothing on the original. The original is 10 times scarier, and I know probably a lot of you are like, The Grudge isn't scary. It is scary for me because, like I said, it just terrifies me. So if you all have a scary movie, please leave it in the comment section below. I'd love to check out your recommendations. It is the month of October, so we need scary movies in our life. Nothing but scary movies. So please, please, please tell me what your favorite scary movie is, and I'd love to check them out. If this is the type of content you like, all things Halloween related for this month of October, please consider hitting like, share, and subscribe. Especially subscribe. I will see you all in the next video. Happy Halloween!